Welcome to MTV Cribs. Check out my amazing crib here in Austin. Gated community, just kidding. But let's learn more about this very unique home in Austin, Texas.
The Tesla solar roof is the most advanced and aesthetically integrated solar solution on the market. I've made some videos about these solar roofs and you guys had interest in them, but I found out that right in my backyard of Austin, Texas, a company is innovating the Tesla solar roof design to actually put those solar roof tiles on the wall for the first time. In fact, Tesla was even hesitant that it could be done. So let's see how it looks.
This is a very unique design here. Tell me what we're looking at.
We are looking at a solar roof wall. Typically goes on a roof, but we put it on the side of a house.
Is this like new?
Yes, ma'am. Tesla didn't think it was doable, but anything's doable.
Hey, I like that attitude.
Yes,
so how did you develop this? I mean, how did you figure out you could do it, and what were some of those challenges?
Well, my boss came to me and asked me, can I make this happen? And I'm the type of person that likes to please people, so I told him I'll build a mock wall and do the best I can, slap some things together, and we go from there. And anything he doesn't like or the builder doesn't like, we'll change. And
a lot of people around the country have Tesla solar roofs,
yes,
but this is the first vertical wall integration?
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty groundbreaking. How different is it to, customize and apply to vertical versus the roof?
Well, with this wall, there's two different versions on this wall. So you'll have a V3 version on this wall, which a lot of people don't know. That's a prehistoric version of solar roof. And then you have V3R, which is the newer version. So with that being said, originally majority of the wall is V3R, but they were limited on certain things that they did. And my boss, per se, he wanted more glass. So that's the non-producing panels. He wanted more glass on there versus metal tiles. So with that, I had to integrate V3 with V3R. We have 31 PV on this wall. We have 21 on that wall. We have 16 on this wall. And the next wall over, we have 15. If the customer wants it, I mean, we'll do whatever. Like I said, we aim to please. You're still aiming for the sun. As long as you're getting the sun, it's still gonna produce the same way. So you wanna minimize the shading, obviously, because that lessens your power, but all you're doing is aiming for the sun. So that's why these walls are where they are now.
And so would you say that Tesla solar roofs are getting, more common, more popular, or more people adopting them?
Oh, definitely. I think it makes any house stand out. I think it makes any house look better. I think it looks super nice versus, you have the retro panels and you have pipes going all over the house, on the roof. I just think it looks cleaner, more slick.
Definitely does.
Yes, ma'am.
That just fits in line with the Tesla aesthetic.
Yes, ma'am.
Everything looks sleek and futuristic. Well, congrats. I mean, that sounds like not an easy task, especially if Tesla was doubtful of it.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do they think about the results?
I would have to ask my boss right now. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm curious to hear their feedback because I've spent almost 5 years in Tesla. So I've been with Tesla and now with this company. I'm curious to hear what the engineers have to say.
How long did it take you to, figure it out?
The wall?
Yeah.
Couple days.
What?
Couple days.
That's crazy.
Well,
Wow.
there's a lot of ideas going into the wall. So pretty much you're throwing 1,000 ideas at a wall, and then you're basically taking away what doesn't work and what doesn't make it look as nice as possible. So you're doing something, you're changing it, taking it down, you're doing it again. You're seeing what works, you're taking it back down, and it's just that over and over, rinse and repeat.
Wow.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, literally.
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome.
While Kirk was able to make this happen through trial and error, it wouldn't have been possible without the vision in the first place by the builder, Ohad.
I invest in real estate, and this is a spec house, so it's speculative. We don't know who's buying it, but the idea behind this house is also we have a cool project on the right of it, and it was to protect the house neighboring, to make sure that we don't get something that we don't like being built. So I invest in real estate, and we build high-end luxury estates.
Wow. And so this is the first of its kind for the vertical wall integration.
Yes, so we never did this before. It was also a little bit of a fight, I have to say, with Tesla. We got pushbacks because usually this does go on the roof. We wanted something cool and different, and I really wanted it on the wall because the way this house is designed, and our houses, usually the second story will be a darker cladding. And once I saw the material that Tesla was using for their tile roof, it's out of glass, it's really sleek. I liked the look, but I wanted it on the wall. And when I came to them, in hindsight, I understood that their pushback was because of the efficiency.
Right.
So I just told them to put more panels.
Okay.
So we overcame the efficiency problem with just putting more of it so it can charge the batteries.
Have they given you feedback now that it's completed?
I think there's a whole event going over this, so I think it might sell better than the roof.
Wow, that is really cool. That's amazing. I mean, it looks great.
Thank you. I think so too.
And so Kirk, the way he describes it, doesn't sound like it was that hard to figure out how to modify.
I'm happy you said that because I also was scratching my head when they kept at the beginning saying, we're checking. I'm like, how complicated can it be?
Right.
We just need it to charge. I didn't understand that their engineers were pushing back because of the efficiency, but if you really think, even if it went on the roof, only the part facing, south would have maybe 100% efficiency, if at all. But the rest, once you go, facing northeast or northwest, and it won't be 100% efficient. I just think it was the first time, like anything, they had to think about it. Mm-hmm. It's more usable for me with my house designs on the walls than I would for me because we have a lot of features on this house with hidden gutters and the way we run the fascia that I was afraid that it won't integrate the way I wanted to. And on the walls, I didn't have to think about it. I just envisioned it looking great. I like the material, I like the way it looks. It's glass, it's rated to be tile, so there's no risk of it breaking from hail or getting leaks. And also the treatment that they gave it with the underlayment, so I'm pretty confident that it will do its job. We do have a big power wall system, so at the end, yeah, I'm finding out that it's really big. But anyway, the idea was we don't want our clients, whoever buys this house, whoever lives in this house, we want them to be comfortable. We don't want them to decide, am I using the second story? We don't want them, taking anything offline. Mm-hmm. We want them, if we do have a big storm and something happens, just to keep on living their life the way they're used to, everything on. The systems that are supporting, so we have like our AC system on the house, is a system that doesn't go full power on and drains the battery. It's a very efficient system that will feather in and all together will, I think, work very nicely.
Yeah, I feel like your Powerwall situation is proof that everything's bigger in Texas.
I guess so, that's what we're finding out. I wanted something different. I also we're always looking for something new that hasn't been done to add to our houses. So like Kirk said, it's been on the wall, it's been on the house already during construction for over 7 months, but this is rated to be a tile roof. So it's rated for tile roofing, meaning it can absorb the hail, rain, all the weather elements of sun, freezing, snow, and we actually put it now vertically on a wall. It's not going to be absorbing the weather elements even close to what it would be if it was straight on the roof. You can also see a lot of it during the day. We have the soffit that's covering it and actually protecting it, so it's going to be way more durable on the wall than it is on the roof.
This seems like quite a setup here, and a unique one, a large one. Tell me more about what we're looking at.
Yeah, cool. Here we have 12 Powerwall 3 ACs. We decided to put them on a rack just for some spacing requirements that we have here up on this hill. But yeah, we have a full 600 amp service, fully backed up house.
For someone who's unfamiliar, why would you want 12?
12 just gives you extended capacity. Each one of the batteries is pretty good for about 200 amps, but with the 600 amp service, we just have to have additional batteries for each set of panels.
All right. Now, I would just say the 600 amp service is quite a lot more than what normal people would have at their house. This is a pretty extensive installation. But talk a little bit more about these. You said these are the newest of the Powerwalls, and also you have some gateways here. How does that all work together?
Yeah, so what happens is the gateways will intercept the 200 amp service on the house that's existing, and we just route our generation through that gateway.
Okay.
And each can turn on and off the grid when there's a power outage, or use it in self-consumption mode to power the house when you're on the grid. Some utilities have everything kind of set up so that if there is an additional surplus, you can charge it back to the grid, and the grid has a utility I don't want to say a program worked out, but you can buy and sell the excess energy that you generate.
Why should somebody go with Powerwalls? Why don't you just get a generator? What is the difference?
I think just the transition to sustainable energy in the future is kind of what the market's telling us everybody wants. Traditionally, the generator works out really well. Sometimes the utility doesn't have gas or propane readily available. So with the solar installation, you can kind of put it anywhere and drag it right into the battery.
Okay.
So is this the biggest install that you've done?
For me personally, yeah, I've done 9 before and 10 before, but 12's a new feat.
But what does it take to charge these?
These are grid tied, so you can set up if the utility has it available to charge from the grid. If there's a storm coming, you can kind of see it ahead of you. They'll charge 100% even if the solar isn't completely available. So as long as they're grid tied, they can do that. But generally you want to have some solar tied into them so you can use them in a self-consumption mode and generate your own electricity.
All right, when you say grid tied, just for people who may not know, what does that actually mean?
So Powerwalls are now only available as grid tied.
Oh, okay.
They used to have a system that was marketed as fully off grid. But if the batteries kind of go completely out, they don't have any way to kind of make a connection there. So
okay.
It's probably best to go forward and say that they are always going to have to be grid tied.
Okay.
But yeah, with auto bidder, the way it's kind of set up is Tesla have agreements made with utilities, and they have different kilowatt hour rates that you can buy and sell. And so that's factored right into the utility company and bill with the customer. And yeah.
So this could actually earn you money by feeding that electricity back to the grid.
Yeah, definitely. If you have a surplus and your offset's higher than 100%, there's definitely the option to make some cash.
Okay, and is that all automatic, or do you have to do something?
I think you do have to set that up with the utility.
Okay.
Maybe sign some digital paperwork at some point. But I think all utilities kind of have that available right now.
But once it's set up, it's automatic. You don't have to monitor anything. You don't have to flip switches, whatever. It does it all by itself.
Sure. I mean, it's addicting to get into the application and kind of watch it as it comes. But yeah, completely set up on the back end.
So yeah, the first Tesla solar roof tiles to be used on the walls, as well as 12 power walls. This house has a lot going on. We decided to wrap up this interview by talking to the CEO and co-founder at Vikta Energy.
You've been doing a lot around not only Austin and Texas, but all over the place. Can you talk a little bit about what you and your company has been doing in the last year?
I think the easiest way to sum it up is doing elite roofing and sustainable luxury. So this is a really good example of luxury sustainability and also doing things very innovative, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to align so closely with Tesla, because there aren't many companies in the world that you can say are even as close to as innovative as Tesla is. So if you're going to kind of ride shotgun with somebody as they're developing products and iterating into a market, there's nobody better. We have a lot of folks that have been doing this for a long time with Tesla. So we have guys that have been doing this for 4 to 8 years. So, we're able to look at, okay, when Ohad came to us and said, hey, I'd love for this to be on a vertical application. Can you make it happen? So we had some folks, Kirk put together a wall in the warehouse. We start ideating on it and seeing how we can make it happen.
And this is the first time you've done that, right?
First time ever. Yes, sir. The challenge of it was, how are we going to support the weight? We know the product's wildly durable, wildly waterproof. Those are no issues at all. Really, it was kind of, okay, how are we going to support the vertical weight? And the way that the new version of the solar roof is designed to sit on the wall actually will support weight very well. And then the other element of it was, how are we going to make this look very sleek? Because as you can see, this home is very modern, very tech forward. So we needed to make all of our transitions very sleek, going into, say, a window or going around a corner. So all that was really just some custom fabrication that we did in the shop and brought out here. And again, we're fortunate to have some very talented folks that could fabricate that stuff. So we drew it up on a whiteboard, and won't get into the specifics of the design there, but drew it up and the guys made it happen and made it look great.
All right, well, when we were talking to Kirk, your employee that did the actual installation, he mentioned that you had been talking with Tesla and they were, talking about how that's going to work, and they weren't really sure. Did you work with them, and did they collect data that they're going to maybe use for future Tesla installations?
We did work with them. There's an ongoing discussion, because we're pushing the limits of the product and a new application of it, and that's something Ohad also likes to do. The builder of the home likes to push the applications and push what's possible from an innovation standpoint and product utilization. So we did have some back and forth conversation, but essentially you know, as long as we met the minimum pitch, there wasn't a maximum pitch that we could use it for. So as long as we could secure it and make sure that we would get enough sunlight on there to produce the voltage we need, then should be really good to go.
Okay, well, Tesla's very known for their iterative approach and also kind of like collecting data and seeing how things work over time. Are they monitoring this installation? Are they going to be watching to see how this the durability of the solar panels on the roof and on the walls, or is there going to be a connection with Tesla moving forward?
Yeah, I don't know if I can speak for them too much. They definitely have access to the data that'll come from this installation. We'll also have access to the performance data, so we'll be able to monitor it and look over time. So I really think that's totally up to them. I know that OHAD absolutely loves the outcome of it and super excited to see what happens in the market with it. So we'll be doing it on multiple more installations. Already have a few lined up to do it. So we'll keep doing it as long as it's productive and helping the homeowner and contributing power to, say in this situation, just contributing some energy to the batteries in a backup situation and contributing energy during the, say, middle of the day and afternoons, really.
So is there a difference in pricing when you're installing it on the roof versus on the walls, or how did that work out?
Yeah, well, this is obviously the first time it's ever been done, so it was kind of an iterative approach. The short answer is it would end up being a little bit more labor time, just because it takes a lot of care in the installation. So we mentioned a lot of custom fabrication, so a lot of this, you know, is not a standard product that you pull out of the box and just can install the same way you've done it 100 times. So it's a lot of custom metalwork around the windows, the corners, where you meet the first story roofing. So it does end up bringing in a lot of custom metalwork to it. So it would be slightly more just on the time that it takes.
So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I made a video about a Tesla solar roof a few years ago and it popped off, and so I figured that introducing you to this new way of using the Tesla solar roof tiles as part of the wall integration would be something you guys would find interesting. Let me know what you think of this new application, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. Please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and I'll see you in the next one.